All right. So part two. Back to what I was saying. So this lady, okay, so this is what happened. I was in Colorado and I decided that I wanted to start working with candles. I am a Gemini sun, Aries rising, Aquarius moon, Taurus Mercury, and the rest of my zodiac is Aries. And I think I might have like, I don't think I have any water in my chart at all. Okay. So I'm a fiery person. It is naturally in me to deal with anything that is a fire. Okay. So I've chosen my element that I work with is fire magic. I love candles. I love burning them. And so when I was looking for something, something had jumped in my head and told me to get something that had to do with learn voodoo pretty much. And despite of what we have been told about voodoo and hoodoo and how it's evil and blah blah blah, I was curious to learn about it. I was curious to learn about it, um, even if I wasn't going to practice it per se, I was curious to learn about it. So I was looking up something about conjuring spirits. Okay, now mind you, when I first started this, I didn't know anything about it, but I was doing what I was being led to do. Because spirit pretty much was telling me to do this, you know, told me to cast my worries and my fears aside and pretty much have faith in them. And they don't steer you wrong. When you actually listen to your higher self and your intuition and all that good stuff that's supposed to protect you, you cannot go wrong. All of this other stuff that we've been taught, they are pure lies to keep us from reaching our highest self. Okay? We are powerful beings. Our melanin by itself has power in it. We already come from the ethers. We have etheric connections with spirit guides and guardian angels. And that's what they don't want us to do. They don't want us to know that. And they don't want us to have access to that knowledge. But when you are a child of God, when you are a God yourself, God is whatever you associate your being to, there's no stopping. Even out of your flesh, you're still not stoppable. Okay? Of course, we got to do the things that we need to do, tangible things in our flesh. But even when you're not in your flesh, you still have power. Okay? Just want you to know that. So, when I was looking up conjuring spirits, she came up. And actually, she had just opened her business up. She hadn't even been out that long. I want to say she might have been out probably 6 months prior to me finding out who she was. So I'm looking her up and I'm looking up, for one, how to conjure and what to conjure and what to say. And, I'm just doing all my research, okay? And so when I read about what her candles were about, and she is a hoodoo. It's in her bloodline. They're from Louisiana. Anybody that's from over there, you know, they already are deep rooted into this stuff already. I mean, anybody from African descent is really, got this shit. But you know how it is. So, anyways, this is what her candles look like. Herbed up, smell good, and her and her daughter, actually all her kids, she is her and she got three daughters, and they're all into the hoodoo practice. I mean, they like really making bank. So this is her blessing, because these candles are not cheap, okay? And they cost pretty much. But she gives back, you know what I'm saying? She got like a buy two, get one free. She's an Aries. Her daughter is Tina the Witch. She's on Instagram. Um, she has another daughter. I want to say her name is Ahari, but a Mary or something like that. I'm sorry. The other daughters are not as widely known than the mother and the oldest daughter. For me now, I mean, the other ones. So, Lala, she makes the candle. Her oldest daughter, she does candle rituals. And then the middle daughter, she does like tarot or something like that. And then the baby girl, she does like soul tie rituals, burning and stuff like that. Okay. So when you read the reviews, a lot of people have a lot of good things to say about this woman and her candles. When I read about it and saw, it was pretty much along the terms of what I was wanting to use the candle for, I bought a whole bunch of them. Okay. Um, Halo and Healing are the ones that she recommends for you to start with because it has a lot to do with releasing the energies of negativity and whatever surrounding you and your aura and all the low vibration. It is to release those things. Let me go get the other candle. Hold on. Okay. So I've pretty much used damn near all of her fucking candles. Okay, especially the ones that I feel like was pertaining to me and what I was trying to do. And these are pretty good candles and they really work. Like anything that you believe in, anything that you put your energy in, you have to believe that it works. That's the only way it's going to. Okay. And so here's another one, Deadly Attraction. And she sends you these little pouches. And how you do it is you know, it's got an oil and she gives you a stone. So Deadly Attraction has to do with being, somebody being attracted to you for love. And then she has like rose petals because all of it has to do with love. And so when you do your ritual, you use everything that she sends you. And this is what it looks like. Smells heavenly. So she has a wooden wick in her candles, and she gives you kind of a description on what to pay attention to, because when you dabble in fire magic, you have to pay attention to the candle itself, the wax. You have to pay attention to the flame, how it's burning. If it's swaying, if it's wavering, if it's going to the north, east, south, or west, if it got smoke coming from it, what color the smoke is, it's a lot. Okay. And then I have Addiction. Now, she came out with new candles from when I first started with her. So I never worked with Addiction, but this is to kind of release you of anything that you find as an addiction. Okay. This is what it looks like. Okay. So this is new to me. I'm gonna have to read up on this one and find out what this is about, because when I ordered it, I did read it, but like I said, it's new to me, so I don't really know the gist of it. Halo. Now, Halo is what she recommends when you start this journey to get this first. It gives you a shield of protection around you while you release and purge yourself of all the negative bullshit that you've been in. things that people have said to you, done to you, giving you the evil eye, all of that shit. And it's fascinating because a lot of people get a reaction from this because it's so powerful and potent. Because, she is a legit person in this practice. And so she has a lot of power that she puts into her products to where people get physically affected by burning her candles. A lot of it is them releasing that shit. You know what I'm saying? That pent up anger. Some people will cry. Some people, sometimes a candle will catch on fire. You got too much negativity around you. If you're surrounded in negativity and you are a negative person, it will purge you. Okay? It will purge you if you have to be purged. Okay? So sometimes the candles, and she's got real herbs in here. So sometimes, the candles will catch on fire. Sometimes be black smoke. Sometimes, it will break. It just depends on how much healing you're going to have to do. So this, along with this, is what I'm going to use. So I'm using Halo, and then she's got some rose petals in this one too. Okay. So, and then she gives you, your little stones to work with while you're using the candle. And what you have to do while it's burning, you have to chant your intention. You chant the intention however long you need to chant it, till you come into a trance. Okay? So, and then I have Sire. That's a new one. I haven't worked with this one yet. And then I also have Crossroads. So you want to always, like Bone Thugs and Harmony said, meet you at the crossroad. Okay? And if you know what the crossroads mean, you know what I'm saying? Papa Legba, Met Kafu, you know what I'm saying? They meet you at the crossroads to grant you your wishes. Met Kafu, he's the one that comes at nighttime that people feel is Papa Legba. That's the one that they portray as evil, and he, the devil, the devil sell your soul to the devil or whatever it is. He's I think he's kin to Papa Legba. Papa Legba is the one who opens the gates to the spiritual realm for you to be able to access the deities and your ancestors or whatever you're going to use. I also did a Papa Legba. She also had a Papa Legba one too. But yeah, I like her products and they really do work. They help me a lot. She also has like these little creams. This one is for power. They smell so good. I've tried all the ones she had. Prosperity, power, and I think love or something like that. And they smell so good. You know what I'm saying? Very long lasting, moisturize your skin and all that other stuff. So some people who have used their products have said that they have become physically ill, like nauseous, wanting to throw up or whatever. And she says that's part of the process. That's part of what you're supposed to go through with these candles because you're purging, you're healing yourself. So anyway, her name is Lala the Conjure. If you want to deal with her, just look her up and, be prepared. Woo. Be prepared to spend some money if you haven't. A lot of people say that that's their biggest complaint is that the candles cost too much, but they're well worth it. So if you get a chance, do a review. So that's done and out the way. So I'm gonna do I'm gonna set up my altar because at first I thought I was going to do everything tonight, but I'm gonna start these tomorrow. What I'm going to do is this right here. I have to get rid of this man. I've decided that I no longer want to have this union with him. It's a lost opportunity. From what I've understood is that we have been dealing with each other for many lifetimes, and each lifetime it never happens. We never get together, but we are always running into each other to teach each other some type of life lesson for both of us. And I realized that, okay, so when I was told about him, okay, there was one woman that told me at Facebook. There was two women that told me in Facebook, and then there was a third time this woman told me. Now, after I started going on my spiritual journey, I had looked up this app because I wanted, because at that time I was working all the time. I only worked 2 days out the week, and then Monday through Friday I wasn't doing anything. So I was stagnant. I didn't have nothing else going on in my life. And so I was like, well, I need to get out. I need to meet people. I need to do something. So I went on this app and I downloaded Meet. It's called Meetup. And so what it is that, it's an app that you get to put in your interests, the kind of things that you like to do, and people who are into it, they have these groups that you can meet and mingle and get to know folks and this, that, and that. So at this time, I had uh, signed up for a meetup group that did psychic readings. And it was actually at a winery in Dallas. They've closed it since then. But it was a winery in Dallas. You go there, you drink your wine, or you can eat or whatever. And this psychic woman will come, and she was also a medium. And she's in that Dallas Psychic Center somewhere. And she will come and read group wise on whoever energy she could pick up on, and she would read for them. Usually it'd be a loved one that has summoned her to a particular person. So when I first went, I think she did it like every Friday or something. I can't remember, Tuesday, Friday, something like that. And I always made sure that I made it to those meetups because I at that time was begging spirit to give me a sign, to give me messages, to let me know what was going on, what I needed to do. So I think the first 2 or 3 times that I went to the group, there was no message for me. But then there was this one particular time she picked up on my energy. She was reading, she was at my table, but she was reading for someone that was sitting at my table. And her microphone started to waver in and out. And she had already informed us that when the microphone gets to acting funny, that means there's a spirit that's coming through that wants to communicate. So she stopped the reading with the person that was sitting at the table with me, and she went ahead and read me. She told me, she was like, you know, she wants you to sit up so your chest can show, so she can read your energy from your chest, your heart chakra and all that other stuff. And so she pretty much told me that my grandmother was there, and I never had a good relationship with my grandmother. I didn't think she cared about me. I didn't think she loved me. She was one of those maternal feminine energies that didn't have love shown to her because her mom, my great grandmother, died when my grandmother was 4 years old. And so she was sexualized and all this other stuff. That's where the incest and all this shit that happens in my family started happening. And so she kind of had mental issues. People thought my grandmother was a witch when I was younger, therefore they thought I was a witch. They used to call me voodoo. I didn't know what that meant. All I knew was that they used to call me voodoo and run around, running away from me. People were, to the point where it got around the whole school. People were teasing me and all this other stuff because of things that my grandmother used to do. But she didn't know how to handle the type of abuse that she was going through. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother was married 3 or 4 times, had 8 kids. Two of her sons didn't even claim her, don't even claim us. One of her sons got shot and killed by the Chicago police. The one that molested me, he spent most of his time in jail, in prison, and now he's out, just being still a sorry ass nigga because he's gonna continue to have that karma for the rest of his life. And then my other uncle, he stole my money that my grandmother left us, me and my mom, before she died. Just stole it and didn't give it to us. She had left us some savings bonds. And so, every family has some type of skeleton in the closet type shit. Okay. So when she was telling me that my grandmother was coming through trying to talk to me, it shocked me because my grandmother has been dead since like 2011, 2012, something like that. So here it was in 2016 when she came through and told this woman, um, My grandmother died of congestive heart failure, and my uncle helped her die. Didn't feed her, let her starve out and shit. So he can get her money pretty much. But anyway, she told me about this man as well, my twin flame. And she said that she described him and everything. She told me he was gonna be 6 feet, brown skinned, low haircut. She was like, he's more like a brother to you. You know what I'm saying? She's like, he's coming to show you lessons. She said he's not coming to you for a romantic sense. He's coming to you to show you lessons. He is a big part of your journey. And at that time, I believe that I had started talking to him via Facebook. We met off of Facebook. Actually, he was a a coworker that I used to work with. And he was in her friends list. Okay. And so I believe I had already talked to him, but we weren't like talking consistently. So I didn't know who she was talking about. She was like, yes, this man is going to come in. He's going to be a biggest part of your journey. He's not he's not romantically for you, but he is somebody that's supposed to help you learn lessons in life. And I didn't know what the fuck that meant. Okay. I just got out of a heartbreaking ass situation with my baby daddy. So I didn't know what other lesson I needed to damn learn. But now I do, because now it's 5-6 years later and I've gone through these things and they've manifested, and I've learned what I need to learn. So anyway, when I finally did end up having more of an interaction with this man, this is when I started meditating. This is when I started doing candle magic. Now, when she told me this, I wasn't doing any of these things yet. I was starting to start my journey. I hadn't really gotten fully into it, especially the meditation part. I was burning candles and stuff, but I hadn't gotten to the meditation part. So anyway, when I saw his picture, so the girl that I was friends with, that I was being a coworker with, she posted something, and then he commented, and then I commented. But I want to say I commented first and then he commented. But either way, whatever happened was, I read his comment, and you see the thumb profile pic. They small, you know what I'm saying? So when I saw, sometimes when you on Facebook, you see a profile pic and you want to click on it and see what it looked like, So that was the case with him. I clicked on it, and my heart skipped a beat. It was like love at first sight. Like, oh my God, who is this person? Who is this? I got to know who he is. He is I was mesmerized. My eyes laid on him, and I was like, oh my God, who is this person? And then I was going through his pictures and shit, strolling through them. I didn't see him with no woman or nothing, So I took my chance. I went into his inbox, and I just had to let him know he was attractive. I found him very attractive. And I asked him if he was involved with anybody. He told me, thank you, you're attractive too. And no, he's not. So that's where the conversation went. So every other day or 2 or 3, we would inbox each other a few lines or whatever. And then that'd be it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't be on Facebook like that. I hop on and I hop off. Facebook ain't my thing. I actually like Instagram. But, I poke in on Facebook every once in a while. Now, before, probably around this time, I was probably on it a little more frequently than I am now. But, I don't really fuck with Facebook like that. But anyway, so for weeks, we would have a little small talk. Until one day, he had gave me his phone number, and he told me to call him. I wasn't in no hurry to call him. You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, I'm already like, as fine as you are, you ain't dealing with no woman. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't slow, okay? But yeah. So I finally mustered up the time to call him. Because when he gave me his number, I guess he expected me to call him right away, and I didn't. I think I waited another week or two. So he called himself trying to question me about it. Oh, what's up, stranger? I thought you was gonna use my number. What you got going on? Blah blah blah. Woo woo. And I just let him know, pretty much, oh, I've been so busy, I ain't really had time to do it and whatever. So I finally called him, or maybe I gave him my number and he called me. I don't remember who called who first, but we talked and we conversated and we was talking about hooking up, like, doing a meet and greet. And so we agreed to meet for a drink at Chili's. At first he was about to renege on me. And then he was like, well, I kind of felt bad because I did tell you I was going to come, so I'm going to go ahead and go. So when I met up with him at Chili's, he was sitting there drinking, looking good and shit, smelling good. And we just kind of instantly just clicked. And, he was funny, humorous. We was laughing, we had a good time. And so then we left and he walked into my car, opened the door, trying to be a gentleman or whatever. And then grabbed my ass cheeks. Okay. So kind of gave me that little look like, yeah, okay, I see you. You know what I'm saying? I was just basking because I'm like, this motherfucker's so fucking fine. Like, oh my God. And so it took maybe another week or two before we actually hooked up again. And I ended up meeting him at his house, who I thought was his house. Come to find out it's something totally different. I'll have to tell you this story another time, but, I just wanted to give you a gist. And so, we did our thing. He was being romantic with me. It was just off the motherfucking chain. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. He picked me up. Whew. I was looking at his arms. I'm like, oh, he just manly man. Like, oh my God. I was like really into him, like really tripping out. Like, oh my God, this man is so, like, he is the type of man that I would love to come home to. That is my man. That is who I want to be with. But you know what happened? When you are a nice looking guy, even a nice looking woman, it don't matter. You're going to have many options. You're going to have people who, and you choose to entertain who you want to entertain for that moment. Okay. Now, when I was talking about being with him, he was like, I wouldn't mind being with you, but I just got out of something and, I'm not ready to do anything right now. That's the conversation that me and him had. But we always kept in touch until I started catching more feelings for him, and he only wanted to see me when it was convenient for him. Other than that, I couldn't get a hold of him. He barely responded to me. I mean, there was a time when we were getting close together, closer. But, so what happened was I had, after I had got off the phone with him, this is before I had met him. When we met up to drink, we had just got off the phone and I had prayed to God. I was still praying to God at that time. And I got on my knees and I was like, if this man is meant to be in my life, please give me a sign. And sure enough, the phone rang and it was him. Then there was other times, motherfucking angel feathers in my car and ladybugs and butterflies, and everything was showing me that this man was meant to be in my life. But I'm looking at it from a romantic sense, like we were meant to be together. And Spirit said, no, y'all not meant to be together for romantic purposes. You are meant to be together to learn this lesson of self-love, self-worth, self-value. So I'm going to have to do a part 3 because this is going on 30 minutes. So I'm going to sign out of this and then I'll give you part 3. Hold on. Peace out.